you see that you would want to maybe take to another level?
Well, Sean, I agree with you. Governor DeSantis has done a tremendous job. So a couple of things. First, we have an insurance problem in our state. You know, my career in banking, insurance, and in financial services, I want to make sure that we solve this problem for the people of Florida. And it's going to mean bringing every stakeholder to the table, because the people of Florida is what's going to matter. We got to solve it. We got to stabilize those costs. I want to turn Florida into the financial hub of the world. Digital Assets has made a home in South Florida. I want to make sure that we become the most business-friendly state in our country, for businesses to incorporate in our state, but then also for the state to take the lead on cryptocurrency and digital assets. I would even consider having crypto be a part of the state's financial portfolio. We're going to build on the work that Governor DeSantis did when it comes to our environment, making sure that we finish the job on restoring the Everglades waterways, having clean water for all of our constituencies and for our environment. And last but not least, education, Sean. We've been doing a great job in our state, but my focus would be on making sure that every child has the tools available to them to be proficient in math, in reading, in writing, and in reasoning. Those are the things that are going to take our state from being great to being even greater.
Welcome back to the channel. That was the potential new governor of Florida talking about putting Bitcoin and crypto as a strategic reserve for the state of Florida. That would be huge. Wanted to share that with you guys. I'm going to get into some MSTR news, some Bitcoin news, and have a clip at the end I want to share with you guys. So make sure to stay tuned. And we can see here the most actively traded U.S. stocks in the U.S. right now. Microstrategy strategy at around $8 billion yesterday. Really good to see there. They're up here competing with some of the biggest companies in the world. They're only a $64 billion market cap company, but they're up here with the trillion market cap company. So that is really good to see. And we have strategy coming in. The market just opened. We're down a little bit here at 246. We have BTC sitting at around 86,000, down a bit on the day as well. And a lot of you guys in the comment section, very upset about the recent MSTR price action. We're down over 50% from the all-time high, and a lot of you guys are calling us sellouts. I definitely understand it. Some people are even saying we're being paid by strategy. Saylor's paying us. Nobody is paying us to make these videos. We're just trying our best to keep you guys up to date with everything going on. Nothing we talk about is financial advice, and we're right along there with you guys. Our portfolios are down as well. All of our MSTR is down as well. But when you believe in something over the long term, you buy in when there's fear in the market. As you can see right here, the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index is at extreme fear. Historically, that's been some of the best times to buy Bitcoin. And MSTR, if you believe in the company, it's down 50% from the all-time high. You should be happy that the price is down, that you can buy before it becomes a $1 trillion company, if that's where you believe it's going. So that's our mindset. We have a long-term vision on investing in Bitcoin and MSTR, and we continue to buy these dips with any additional cash that we would have. And that's not financial advice. That's just what we're doing. That's our opinion. You know, if you guys don't like MSTR and you want to sell everything and just leave it where it is, that's up to you. But that is just what we're going to do. But we can see here the ETFs, they had around a $1 trillion outflow yesterday. This is the largest daily outflow since the launch in both USD and Bitcoin unit. And this is something I talked about in the last video I made. The traditional market really depends on where the price of BTC is going to go. Right now, there's inflation fears, and we have Trump and Elon Musk with Doge laying off a lot of people in the government. People are fearful that we're going to get a bad jobs report next month for February. That could lead the market to sell off. And normally, when we get bad jobs reports over the past year, we've sold off. Couple that with the bad inflation report from early in February. This is why a lot of people in the traditional market are very fearful right now, and they're selling off some of their Bitcoin here. $1 billion outflow. So that's why the price is going down as well. But this is a good time to get in. If you believe Bitcoin is going to $1 million over the next 5 to 10 years, getting in while prices are cheaper, you're able to buy more BTC, you're able to buy more MSTR right now with the fiat that you have. So I know it's hard to be bullish during times of bearishness and prices going down and you're losing money on paper, but you can continue to stack more while these prices are lower. You shouldn't be going all in at any point, but as these prices get cheaper, if you can dollar cost average a little bit more than you normally do, that's probably the best way to go about it. And that's not financial advice. It's just what I try to do. And then despite having a $38.6 billion flowing into the Bitcoin ETF since January of 2024, only around half of that, 44%, appears to be from long-term investments. According to 10x Research, the remaining 50% likely involves arbitrage. So let me explain that with this tweet here from CJK. So he's giving his 2 cents on Bitcoin's price action. So he's saying half the institutions aren't buying Bitcoin to get along BTC. They're here as market makers yield farming Bitcoin volatility. Here's how the math works. Let's say you had 100 million. You want to make a market with minimal risk and maximum reward. The best way to do that is to get delta neutral across spot and futures in a volatile marketplace. The more volatility, the better, because the higher the premiums paid on the futures. So you buy 50 million of Bitcoin, that puts you long 1x. Then you sell 50 million of Bitcoin, that puts you short 1x. This puts you delta neutral, aka regardless price action, the nominal value of your position stays 100 million. Why do it now? What's left over? The premiums paid by traders. The yield in TradFi ranges between 10 to 20% APY. The yield in DeFi ranges between 10 to 60% APY. That's a lot more than you can get from the 4% on US Treasuries. So you can see if you have $100 million, you can get 10 all the way up to 60% of that by playing these type of arbitrage games. And that's the job of a market maker. Outperform the risk-free rate of return. Bitcoin volatility does that, but this is just basic one-on-one stuff. Financial games are played to maximize profits, maybe to accumulate as well via liquidation. How? By unwinding the position. If you're about to sell 50 million of spot Bitcoin, you don't close your short. You sell first, and if there is weakness, you sell aggressively. This can drive value into your short, which you close while you're pushing price down as much as possible. Sometimes this process gets synced up, manipulation with market makers to coordinate all of this, and we get big down moves like we just saw to liquidation levels. These are levels where traders are forced to sell at the perfect time to reestablish delta neutral positions. In TradFi, over the coming weeks of chop, you are collecting the nice premiums paid to protect downside. In DeFi, over the coming weeks of chop, you are collecting nice funding rates paid by new longs. Not every institution is doing this, but it seems to be way more than 50%. Can you blame them? The free market interest rate of the interest economy with Bitcoin as a reserve asset offers the best risk-reward market making ops in the world. Nothing's changed for Bitcoin. It's the most pristine form of collateral in the world, and BitFi forms the only true free market yield curve in the world. If you're not chasing cash flow, it's always best to accumulate when others are forced to sell. So I hope that puts some things in perspective for you. I thought this was a really good post. Just wanted to go through. I know it was kind of long there, but that helped me understand how some of these market makers think. And a chart that we looked at a while ago in December that a lot of people kind of just dismissed was Bitcoin following liquidity. We saw liquidity showing that Bitcoin could potentially go down to around $70,000 to $80,000. Now we're down there almost to that level, but liquidity has started to peak up here. In Bitcoin, there's like a 3-month lag on this, 3-month lead. So Bitcoin could follow this same trend and start to make its way back up after this downside move. Because over the past year or so, this has been spot on. Liquidity has drove BTC prices, as you can see from this chart right here. And then to get some Bitcoin updates, MetaPlanet purchased another 135 Bitcoin. They did that on February 24th. So they're continuing to stack. Good to see there. We have BitDeer official. They've acquired 50 more Bitcoin at around 90,000 each. Good to see there. Then we have Fold. Fold added 10 Bitcoin to their treasury yesterday. They bought the dip, so now they have 1010 Bitcoin there. And then this is actually really interesting. Bitcoin just experienced the biggest amount of selling pressure on spot exchanges since the China mining ban in May of 2021. And yet we are still at 88,000 USD. So sometimes You have to zoom out, look at the big picture, understand where Bitcoin is, understand there is still a huge amount of adoption. The United States government is still looking into putting Bitcoin on the balance sheet. You have all these corporations continuing to put Bitcoin on the balance sheet, and more corporations will be coming every month. You have other countries looking to adopt Bitcoin. You have states in the United States looking to adopt Bitcoin, put it on their balance sheet. So the adoption is still there. Sometimes you gotta zoom out and realize where Bitcoin's going over the long term. But that's all I had for today's video. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. I hope you found some value. Make sure to like, subscribe. We have new content coming out every single day. I have a clip I want to share with you guys. Let's go ahead and check it out here. I'll catch you guys in the next video.
Michael, safe to assume you bought the dip this week?
We're buying all the time. We're buying every quarter. We're buying the lows, the mids, the highs. You know, I'll be buying the top forever, because I'm expecting Bitcoin will continue to appreciate as digital capital. I think physical capital, real estate capital, financial capital, people are going to sell those things and they're going to move their money into digital capital. And it's going to be a trend for a long, long time to come.